All right. Ruben, how's it going?
Very good, brother. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the...
You're to the wrong podcast. But what podcast is this?
Okay, so I was about to say welcome to the worst of the best podcast, which is not true. I might as well plug that podcast, Ruben, for our Rocky podcast listeners.
Now's the time to do it.
Ruben and I have another podcast called The Worst of the Best Podcast, found on all of your podcast apps, wherever podcasts are sold. Check us out. We cover a variety of topics, pop culture, food, you name it. We pick the worst from the best. That's all I can say. Go check it out. If you like Ruben and you like Ryan, I don't know why people don't listen to that podcast. Here's the thing, Ruben. This is what kills me. It's about a 10-to-1 ratio. Between the Rocky podcast listeners and our worst of the best podcast listeners. So that means that people barely tolerate me and you.
Sure.
They just stick around for the Rocky content.
That's right. The worst, the best, those that do listen to it love it. It's kind of like Fresca. 10 out of 10 Frescas. Lovers prefer the taste of Fresca.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I like that. We're the Fresca podcast, the worst of the best podcast. And the Rocky podcast is basically, it's not quite Pepsi or Coke. Maybe it's Jolt. Remember Jolt?
Jolt. That's hilarious. I have forgotten about Jolt.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Okay.
Whatever happened to Jolt?
Maybe Jolt went by the wayside, much like Rocky 5.
So we should do a worst the best episode of all the top selling 10 colas.
Jolt?
Top 25.
Wasn't Jolt the slogan like twice the sugar, all the caffeine, or twice the caffeine, all the sugar? I think.
It pops like any other drink. It fizzes like any other soft drink. But this cola is said to be different. It will give you a jolt of energy. Jolt has all the sugar and twice the caffeine of regular soft drinks.
That the promotion on it indicated that you would really get a pickup from it, which you probably would on a temporary basis.
When the caffeine fix is gone, though, it may cause a downer, just like other caffeine drinks. The caffeine level in Jolt is just under the level allowed by the Food and Drug Administration, but still only about a third of the caffeine found in coffee. The drink also has lots of cane sugar in it, 160 million pounds of it from right here in Louisiana. Dr. Lang says because the sugar passes over the teeth fairly quickly and doesn't stick, it shouldn't cause a major problem.
Based on what I see now, just the fact that it has double sugar and double caffeine, I don't think it's necessarily going to cause double the amount of cavities.
However, Dr. Lang says if Jolt is abused and misused, it can cause problems, just like abusing other soft drinks can also contribute to cavities.
This is crap for you.
It's just crazy. Well, this was before Red Bull, mind you. So they were kind of like the forerunners.
Oh, what's stopping them from doing something now?
Okay, Jolt Cola, Ruben. They were founded in 1985.
Yeah, sounds about right. Jolt Energy. They got Jolt Energy.
They tapped into the energy product.
Yeah.
So Jolt, in the mid-90s, became a competitive cola product in Pakistan. But it didn't survive the competition.
Oh, that's hysterical. Imagine if we all of a sudden became huge in what's it called?
Pakistan. You're right.
It just rolls off the tongue for me.
You're right.
Wouldn't it be weird though if all of a sudden we're toe-to-toe with Joe Rogan in Pakistan?
This is the Go in the Distance, the Rocky Series podcast. We're recording this without our usual notes, and we're going off the cuff as per our last 3 years. And I don't know if we're going to finish Rocky 5 yet or not. I think we can.
Okay.
We're going to get into it. The press conference has just ended where somebody called out Tommy's girlfriend and said, why don't you fight your girlfriend in the front row because I hear she comes real cheap. These venomous, vitriol journalists, they were just after Tommy. So we talked about that last episode.
Now, was she cheap because she was a redhead?
I think so. I think it's pretty standard that
You
redhead.
value her because she's a ginger?
Because he pointed it out that why don't you fight the redhead in the front row?
Yeah. It's like white racism. I know we have cousins who are gingers. The school, there was a kick ginger day.
Oh, really?
And yeah. Some of them got kicked pretty hard.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's not funny.
No.
It's just weird that is even a thing. Right.
Little small, little white town. Who can we be mad at? You with red hair.
Right, yeah, redheaded people. Well, Ruben, we got some mail.
MALE.
That's right. We got some mail. I tell our listeners, hey, thank you so much for tweeting us, for messaging us. You can find us on Facebook at Going the Distance, the Rocky Series Podcast. You can find us on Twitter, Going the Distance, the Rocky Series Podcast. If you punch those things in, our handles will come up. It's the easiest way to explain it. And
Punch.
punch. Yeah, punch those digits in. If you want to send us mail via email, we actually have a few people that do that, and I would like to read those out. I think people do appreciate mail. And our email address is gtdwithrr@gmail.com. That's gtdwithrr@gmail.com. So basically, that's the acronym Going the Distance with RR. That's Ryan Ruban. This is from our longtime correspondent and listener, Greg. He just says he wants to thank us for mentioning him on the podcast the other day. This was a podcast, Ruben, where I mentioned that I was on Skype. And if people want to find us on Skype, it's just Rocky Series Podcast. That is our Skype handle. Call in anytime, and you can leave us a voicemail. I believe you can leave voice messages on Skype, right, Ruben?
Sure.
Yeah, I think you can.
I have no idea.
It always gives you the option to do it, like leave a voice message.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm telling our listeners if you would like to talk to Ryan and Ruben, leave us a message on Skype, and we can play that message for our listeners on the podcast. So that's Rocky Series Podcast is our handle. We're the only one on Skype with that handle, so find us there. Greg tweeted out that we were doing that, but he apologized that he couldn't call in on the show when I tweeted that out on one of my recordings because he's at work Monday to Friday, but he wanted to give us a plug on Twitter for that. And I also mentioned that his Twitter handle is, I forget what it's called now, something like Limp Noodle or something, or Limp Noodle, or... So I forget what the handle is, but he said that he actually got a follower from me plugging his handle.
Hilarious. But speaking of his limp noodle,
Sure.
you probably get a prescription for that.
Yeah, Greg, if you need some help. And he also wanted to say that he is running in the Rocky Run in Philly next weekend. It's his
Really?
It's his third straight year to do so.
Very cool. Good for him.
Yeah. And he also said that, Ryan, that now that you're on the East Coast, you should come down to Philly at some point when you have time off from the Navy.
Do you have any plans on doing that?
Absolutely, Ruben. I think summer 2020 is the window I'm looking at, yes. Because it's only a 6-hour drive down there. So the wife and I will take the kids and probably stay at a hotel overnight and just hit the Rocky Steps, yes, and the statue and all that good stuff. Maybe swing by New York City or do New York City on another day. But just make it at least a 2-day trip with the kids, run up the steps, and I will be obviously, when I run up the steps, I'll be doing that live on Facebook Live, absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to happen. So, Greg, I know you're listening to the show. Yes, when it happens. And I will be plugging that visit when I have a solid date because I want to have all of my Philadelphia and East Coast listeners, and there are a few of them, to meet me at the stairs.
Sweet.
I know some of the guest podcast hosts that we've had on the show, like Doug Greenberg. He'll meet me there for sure. If you guys want to meet me and Doug... and Ruben won't be there, I don't think, because he's above Seattle, Washington, geographically, if you want to look, and Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. It's going to be an event, absolutely. The second email that we got was another Greg, but his name is Gregory Nihan. He said, love your podcast. When you get to Rocky Balboa, he's got some good stories for us about the paintings that Paulie has around him in the movie.
Sweet.
He says that Burt Young painted them. Greg had the chance to spend some time with him and buy his art a few years ago. So he's going to tell us a story about that. Also, he met Antonio Tarver at the same time. That's the individual that Stallone or Rocky fights in Rocky Part 6. Great guys. Just wanted to offer up the stories if they prove helpful. Well, absolutely. I'll put that plug out there. If anybody wants to be a guest on the show, you don't have to be a podcast extraordinary. If you just want to come on the show and share a story, such as what Greg has said here, the other Greg, we'll call him the other Greg. Greg has got stories that definitely ties in with the movie that we're going to cover, Rocky Balboa, soon. That'd be amazing. Come on, tell us about behind-the-scenes stuff. We love that. You don't have to be plugging anything other than just your history or your love of Rocky or Stallone or both. So please, thank you, Greg. So again, if you want to reach us, Find us on Twitter and Facebook and on our Gmail and on Skype. All right, Ruben, you ready?
I am.
There we go.
Why the hell did you say Balboa's better, man? Do you believe he's better? Of course not, man. We can't talk to you, huh? When are you going to fight the next fight, Tommy?
The news conference ends. Tommy is really quite lit right now. Duke told the crowd that Rocky Balboa will always be kind of the champion, and maybe in time Tommy will be that kind of champion. And Tommy is asking, why did you say that? Why did you say, do you believe that Balboa's better? And of course Duke's like, of course not.
Yeah. How fragile, though. Granted, you want to have whoever's in your corner talking you up. At the same time, it's like, whatever. But what I also liked about the scene was as they're leaving the room there, the ginger lady of the night gets locked out.
Yeah, it's a clever little scene. It's kind of a comedic little scene. Of course, those who know the movie, the door shut on the reporters as Tommy and Duke leave the reporters. And the door shuts just on the redheaded's face as she's trying to get through and fall. She literally gets left behind. She's just old news already.
Yeah, well said.
So Tommy's about to ask, man, what the hell happened in there? He's still going on about this.
What the hell happened in there? I want the damn time these people think I'm a bum. Man, why didn't you take up for me in there?
Oh, listen to me. When the press is right, they're right.
Right, man, I'm as good as Balboa ever was. I don't give a damn what they say.
Duke brings up an interesting point here. He says, when the press is right, they're right. Do you think Donald Trump feels the same way?
Oh, absolutely. He's all about fair and balanced news.
But all joking aside, what do you think of that statement, though, what Duke is saying there?
Actually, I was kind of more focused on what Tommy was saying. Them thinking that he's a bum. Is that really part of the vernacular? Is that what people say?
The Rocky term for bum.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
I know. When was the last time you ever referred to somebody as a bum?
Well, I never have, and I don't think you ever have. Yeah, I think it might be an East Coast thing to call somebody a bum. Yeah, bum.
It just throws me off.
Right.
And also his voice reminds me of somebody. I can't quite think of it. I might shout it out later in the episode.
Okay.
Well, what do you think of what he was saying?
Duke or Tommy there?
Duke.
When the press is right, they're right. I think what he's kind of saying is, he's not saying that he agrees with them or even that they're telling the truth, but it's kind of like the press controls the information. That's some truth to that. So when he says, whatever the press says, they're going to say, and it's going to go out there, we can't control it. To some degree, you really can't control what they're going to print.
Yeah, you can't control what anybody says.
No. Tommy's still flipping his mullet wig here, and he's about to throw his baseball cap on the ground, the one last redeeming quality that he had because it hid his mullet a little bit. He's about to say that I'm tired of being called the damn robot too.
Call the damn robot too.
Listen to me, Tommy Gunn. You can't fight the press. I can't fight the dog press. And as long as they got Balboa in the brain, he'll always be champ. The man fought wars in the ring.
Duke brings up kind of a nod to Rocky IV there. The man fought wars in the ring.
Yeah.
And I like it when when sequels in particular, no matter the sequel, when they kind of nod or mention something that happened in a previous show. So yeah. Man fought wars in the ring. I love that. I love the way he says that. Richard Gant, who plays Duke, is just so good. Every line delivery is just amazing.
Well, he's got a great cadence to his voice. It's very believable.
Yes, it's wonderful. His partner here, Merlin, is about to chime in and just add fuel to the fire. He says, you're in his shadow, and I don't know if there's any way out.
You're in his shadow. I don't know if there's any way out.
Man, this is your old man talking.
No. Listen to me. There's a way for you to get the respect you deserve, but what you got to do is challenge Balboa to fighting man to man.
All right, so here we go. He's building up. He's building up to his big speech that I don't want to stop when it kicks in. Duke's got a promo that he's going to put on Tommy here. I mean, Tommy's all ready to fight Balboa. I don't know if this is a speech more to us as the viewer.
Well, it's all for us.
Well, you know what I mean, though. I wouldn't say a smart movie plays to the story more to the audience, but if Rocky were to walk in right now, Tommy would fight him.
Sure. Kind of related, but not. Last night I saw the new Terminator movie.
Oh, how was it?
I already told you how it was.
It's for our listening audience, Ruben. See, I'm playing to the audience.
A smart podcaster wouldn't.
But then
I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought that I would.
Sure.
I went with a friend, and he was like, geez, it's been so long since I've seen the last Terminator. Is there something I need to know about the movie? I'm like, no, every sequel will spell it out for you.
Did it?
When it comes to time travel,
it's irrelevant.
It really is. If you overthink it, it's like the Austin Powers movie. He looks at the camera and acknowledges that this time travel does not make sense, but just have a good time.
Does he say that, or is it just a look he makes?
No. He says that, and I think the third one.
Austin, the test results confirm that you've lost your mojo, and it couldn't come at a worse time. We have evidence that Dr. Evil has developed a time machine and has traveled back to the year 1969. Luckily, we too have developed a time travel device to transport you back to the 60s. This is where you input your destination.
Wait a tick. Basil, if I travel back to 1969 and I was frozen in 1967, presumably I could go visit my frozen self. But if I'm still frozen in 1967, how could I have been unthawed in the 90s and traveled back to, oh no, I've gone cross-eyed?
I suggest you don't worry about this sort of thing and just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
That's how it went. Okay.
Yeah, sure. But I remember that scene. Let's not think too much about it. Just enjoy the time travel. The Austin Powers movie, it's funny how a lot of people didn't like part 3, but it's funny how smart it seems now compared to a lot of comedies.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
But you know what I mean by that? Because
I know.
it's compared to Austin Powers, the first one, which was such a, but when you go back and just watch part 3 as a movie, it's like, oh, this is actually quite clever and smart compared to a lot of the comedies.
Yeah. So it was Basil who looked at the screen, not Austin Powers.
Yeah, there he's looking right now.
Breaking the fourth wall, right? That's
right.
What I see on the...
What movie was the first movie that you saw the fourth wall be broken?
Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, when that happened, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I remember quite well. When that happened, I thought, he can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't talk to me, the viewer. How's he? What am I watching here? Am I watching Ferris Bueller or am I watching Matthew Broderick playing Ferris Bueller? It really, yeah. I liked it. I remember kind of being like, this is crazy. We're going to a different...
I like how easily you can be impressed as a youth.
Yeah. I missed that in some ways. Here we go. Continuing Rocky 5. Duke is about to get him going here. Here we go.
That's right, George. You can set this fight up abroad in a matter of weeks.
Yeah, it'd be the greatest fight ever. Teacher against student, old lion against young lion. And it's the only way you ever gonna get peace of mind, because believe me when I tell you, that press is gonna hound you with that man's legend for as long as you dare to wear boxing gloves. You gotta get him into that ring, Tommy Gunn. Or you're going to be in question like you heard tonight for the rest of your life. Then you're going to start to ask yourself, could I really take him? Am I really good enough? Do people really think I'm a cheap carbon copy or a second-rate pretender who only got a shot because of my skin tone?
Love how it says here he only got a shot because of his skin tone.
Well, what am I missing about that?
He's referring that Tommy... There's a few things he goes, you got to challenge Rocky to a fight because people are calling you a carbon copy. People are saying that you're not who you are. And did you only get a shot because you're white? Apollo Creed, anybody? Clubber Lang?
Thunder Lips?
Yeah, Thunder Lips was orange. It is interesting because Stallone wrote that line.
Uh-huh.
Richard Gant, who played Duke, I asked him that question in my interview. If you haven't, go back and listen to that interview to those who haven't heard it. I asked him, I said, how much did you ad-lib, if any? He said that Stallone wrote every line. It's his deliverance that sells it. I love when I watch the performance of Richard Gant playing Duke, and that's Stallone's writing. It's kind of fun to think of it that way.
Yeah. It's great that he's able to flesh it out, It can't be a one-man show of Stallone acting out every scene. You gotta have all these different characters. It'd be wild to write something and watch other people perform it.
Yeah, it would be.
I love Stallone, but I don't think he could have done it as well as him.
No.
You know what I mean? But he's able to write it.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see Stallone's his Halloween makeup that he had?
Well, it wasn't Halloween makeup. It was Rambo 5 makeup.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah.
Skin hanging off his face?
Yeah, but it was to put over his eye because he got beaten up.
Rambo 5?
Yeah. Remember the scene where he got beaten up by the Mexican?
Oh, yeah.
His face was all puffed up. That was that day of filming. So he actually put it over his eye real quick to show you that he had the big black eye puffed out, or the swollen face. Yeah, really good makeup. So yeah, the skin hanging was just a prosthetic that he was going to place over his eye for the filming.
He's got a good sense of humor, that man.
And he was poking fun there. Schwarzenegger, did you catch that?
No, because I see all this stuff when I'm at work, and I can't listen to it when I'm at work. What happened there?
Oh.
I saw Schwarzenegger on Kimmel. Did you get this rebuttal to that?
Yes. Yeah, those two, they keep poking fun at each other. It's nice to see that they can do that. Back in the 80s and 90s, they were friends, but they were truly competitive, ego-wise.
Sure. There's a line in Terminator Dark Fate that was hilarious.
Oh.
I couldn't do it justice, and nor would I. But it was hilarious.
So here's Schwarzenegger on Kimmel, and then Stallone responds to this clip.
Thank you. But so they came to me with this other movie, and I forgot what it was called.
Stop or My Mother Will Shoot.
My Mom Will Shoot, exactly. Yes. That's right. And so I read the script, and it was a piece of I mean, let's be honest. And so I said to myself, I'm not going to do this movie. So then they went to Sly, and then Sly called me and he says, hey, have they ever talked to you about this movie? And I said, yes. I was thinking about doing it. I said, this is a really brilliant idea, this movie. And so when he heard that, because he was in competition, he immediately called him and says, look, whatever it takes, I do the movie. So he did the movie.
Wow.
And of course, the movie went major into the toilet.
You are a diabolical man.
Okay, so that was that part, and then here's Sly's response.
Okay, my big muscular friend, I saw you the other night on Jimmy Kimmel, kind of making fun of me, telling the whole world about how you tricked me into doing the worst movie ever made. Nah. Does it bother me? Nah. Is it burnt into my memory like a horrible scar? Nah. Well, maybe just a little bit. So anyway, as you know, I write, which is something you don't. Oh, did I say that? And I've decided to write a sequel called For You. Sequel for you called Stop or Your Grandmother Will Beat Your Ass. And I will be directing and producing and mocking it all the way through. Anyway, you keep punching, big guy, and good luck with your film.
So that's good. And I love I give a little bit of a dig there. And this is kind of true when you have the Arnold versus Stallone comparisons, which is inevitable. It's like saying, who's better, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, or whatever. They're both amazing in their own right for what they do as actors and entertainers. But Stallone does write, direct, and produce. Arnold never does that. He just never does. It's just not in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, they're both funny.
Arnold has better comedies for sure, and he's got great comedic timing on his own. So they both have a sense of humor. Arnold's sense of humor translates better on screen than Stallone's, at least outside of the Rocky franchise.
They should do a movie together.
Escape Plan.
But but that's funny. That's funny. Like they could do like a gold gym owner. There's somebody that's opening up a gym across from his gym, and
yeah, I like that. Yeah. Golden gyms.
Yeah. For the golden years.
Yeah, that's right. The golden years. Man, that'd be awesome. Golden gym years. All right, here we go. Duke's going to wrap it up. If Richard Gant got an Oscar nomination, which he should have for this film, let's be honest, he should have. Here's the clip they would have shown the Oscar audience.
Got to challenge that man to fight Tommy Gunn. And if he refuses, then you got to insult him. You got to dog him. You got to humiliate him. You got to do whatever you got to do to get him into that ring. But that's what you got to do.
So then it cuts to the bar, Andy's bar. Beer, sports, and... What? Beer, sports, more... what does it say? Hoagies? I think it says hoagies. Beer, sports, something to hoagies.
Nice.
Okay, yeah. Blast off, rolling silver.
So we got Rocky playing pinball, and that's him talking to the pinball machine.
And now, Andy, flippers ain't flipping. Yo, Andy.
Hey, that machine cost me a fortune.
Yeah, well, it costed me a fortune, too,
So the pinball machine's not working, of course. And Andy's the same bartender that was in Rocky 1, 3, and now 5. Andy. It's the same actor, too.
He's the Gunther of the Rocky franchise.
That's awesome. It's no point even explaining that reference. Either you know the reference or you don't. So it looks like they're kind of just chilling, relaxing. They're at the bar. Andy's sitting at the table with Paulie, and Rocky's playing pinball. I've always wanted to have my own pinball machine in the house.
Oh, yeah. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, I think it's great.
I remember as a teenager, Guns N' Roses came out with the pinball machine. Boy, I wanted it so bad.
Well, yeah, I want the Rocky pinball machine. But I've always said that if I had basically the money to burn money, like Bill Gates type money, I would have a whole floor dedicated to vintage pinball machines. It just almost have it really fitted out. You could have tours of all these pinball machines, and everyone could just play for free.
I prefer pinball over video games.
Yeah, agreed. It's that aesthetic, the cling, the bang, the bells. Yeah,
it's real.
Yeah. Oh man, I hate being poor.
Rocky Balboa.
So somebody calls out from the distance. You hear Duke calling out Rocky Balboa. So he's outside. I love how it's this ominous sound. You've got Duke calling from the street to the bar. How did he know he was there?
As a business owner, where the public comes in to my establishment, it'd be weird if somebody opened up the door to my business. started calling out one of my other customers. I'd be like, what are you doing?
Give me 2 first names put together.
What do you mean?
To give me 2 first names.
Sure. There's an Andrew.
Okay, Andrew David. That's a name.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, you're in your business. Okay?
I'm in my business.
You're doing
I got customers.
Okay, customers.
I'm at the till.
Okay, let's try it out. Andrew David.
What?
Andrew David.
Who's doing that?
Andrew's like, I'm sorry, but I don't know what's going on here.
He's so bad.
Andrew David, I'm here to beat you up. And actually, the guy calling for Andrew David isn't even the guy that's going to do the fighting.
No, it's a third person.
Yeah.
He's just there to stir the pot.
Yeah, he's...
What the hell was that?
Rocky Balboa, there's a man out here wishing to speak with you.
So already he's kind of turned this into a spectacle, and it looks like there's reporters around them ready to film this, to make this like some sort of promotional, to show the masses, live on pay-per-view, what started in the street will end in the ring type thing.
Yeah, it'd be like them live streaming it.
Exactly. But they had to film it and then show it later.
Rocky Balboa.
All right, so Rocky's getting a little tense here. Paulie's like, oh boy, here we go.
Rocco, you know who that is, huh?
Yeah, I know who that is.
Now, when he says, yeah, I know who that is, I don't think he's actually referring to even Duke. He knows that Tommy's there.
Sure.
And then someone says, hey, Rocky, do you need some help? This is the best part.
Oh, Rocky, you need some help?
No, guys, ain't no pie eating contest.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And I love looking at these two guys that did ask her out. They were these
Who
two.
are those guys now?
Yeah.
I'd love to have a small spot on a show like that. But just, I'd love to have like a small walk-on role like that. Just like, hey, or, next please, or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
A Rocky movie.
Rocky, you need some help, bro?
Do you know how many times those two guys watch the Rocky films and they watch the training sequence and you think to yourself, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get off my butt. I'm going to train.
These guys just have to eat pie. That's all they got to do.
I'm going to be in a Stallone movie. I'm going to be the next Rocky. I'm going to be a punchline.
Yeah.
It's better than being punched.
That's true. Oh.
Look what's in the street.
Paulie goes, hey, look what's in the street. And there's Tommy Gunn there standing there like a giant behemoth with his jacket Tommy Gunn. He's got like his little Street Fighter gloves on too. I think Rocky does too. Those fingerless gloves type things.
Would you ever wear a jacket with your name on it?
Never, ever.
You're either famous or you're not.
Yo, Tommy, what are you doing here? You ought to be out there celebrating, right?
But I'm challenging you to a fight. Anytime, any place, anywhere.
Tommy's challenging Rocky to a fight anytime, any place, anywhere. I love that. The Ginger's back, by the way. She's now there behind him, with Merlin. They're there to watch this challenge go down. Be like TV cameras filming this whole thing.
Fight?
That's right.
You're coming down here with these people asking me if I want to throw hands with you? Is that what this is about?
Yeah, that's what it's about. And I ain't nobody's robot. Nobody's boy. Now you're accepting the challenge or you're yellow.
So he says you're accepting my challenge or you're yellow.
Yellow.
Name the movie that said this.
What movie is that? Are you yellow? I'm not yellow. Oh.
McFly!
Mighty strong words, Runt. You man enough to back them up with more than just a pie plate?
Look, just leave my friends alone.
What's wrong, dude? You yellow? That's what I thought. Yellow belly.
Nobody calls me yellow.
And let's finish it right now.
Oh, hey.
Biff would always, that was the thing that got Marty. He didn't ever like being called yellow. What are you, yellow?
It's very obscure.
Why yellow? If you're afraid to ask someone on a date, you're yellow-bellied. If you're easily frightened or spooked, you're yellow-bellied. So it's the short form for yellow-bellied. The word originally applied to birds that literally have a yellow belly, the yellow-bellied sapsucker. From there, it came to being an insult for cowards. If you're afraid to ask someone on a date, you're yellow-bellied. If you're easily frightened or spooked, you're yellow-bellied. This is often used as an insult or challenge, like, what are you, yellow-bellied?
It's a bird reference.
They probably were skittish birds that flew away really quickly. Like old birds.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. I love origin stuff.
Like, do they all know while they're out in the street, this person's referring me to a bird? Is he going to call me a skittish bird? I just want to notice Paulie's expression as the movie paused. Look at him.
Yeah, I know.
Is ooh.
Yeah.
He did not say that. You know.
I love it.
He has no class. Come on, Rob. Hey, he has no class. Come on. Let's go outside. Come on.
So I love how Paulie's being the reasonable one here, saying, "Come on, Rock, let's go inside." He has no class. They really put a lot of stock in this class and bum and.
Yeah. For me, it's a bit of a foreshadow when Tommy's like anytime, anywhere, any place type of thing.
Oh yeah.
In our heads, you're thinking, well, he just means fighting, like in a ring.
Yeah.
But Sly knew.
Oh yeah.
Anywhere, anytime. This is going to go down.
Yeah, hey, yo, boy, ain't him, you know. You want to shoot some 8-ball or something?
Hey! Man, I ain't through talking with you yet.
Hey, look, Tommy, I ain't got no more to say to you, okay? Look, I just want good things for you.
Oh, hell you did. Man, you're only in this for the money.
Money?
It's like those insults that kids will throw at people that don't make sense.
Yeah.
So Tommy's throwing an insult at Rocky, saying, "You know, you're only in this for the money." And Rocky's like, "Money? What are you talking about? I'm the
money."
That he's like, "I told you not to go to the Duke because of the money." Tommy's grasping at straws, just trying to get him worked up.
I'm tired of walking around in your shadow, man. People call me your robot.
You thought I was in this for the money, Tommy? You know, we were supposed to be like brothers. You don't remember that? You don't know this, but you got a deception going here. This guy here, he was using you for the bait. He wants to get you and me in the ring. That's what he wants us to fight each other, you know, to make the money, right? He don't care about you. Tommy don't care about me neither. Right?
Come on. Enough of the fantasy. Let's talk reality. Rocky Balboa, are you prepared to accept Tommy Gunn's challenge?
Tommy.
All right.
Hey! I would have taken you any time.
Hey, Tommy, you're a piece of garbage, you know that?
Hey, this ain't none of your business.
Things are kind of heating up here. They're getting kind of personal. Duke has tried to even tell Rocky, "Hey, come on, let's have a fight. Are you going to accept this challenge or not?" Paulie's had enough.
Now, in real life, how hot is he in that fur coat?
Duke?
Yeah. It's like furrier than all the animals that it killed.
Yeah, and both him and the redheaded woman, they're both wearing fur coats right now. But they'll be going to the streets soon, Ruben.
Come on, boy.
Ain't none of my business.
Boy, forget about
The
it.
man spit blood for you. Put your head in his own family, and you bring these rat bums around here.
Tommy.
Huh?
Tommy.
You kill his dignity? Rocco made you your shot. You know that? He's the real champ. You're just a goddamn joke. Now, just get out of here before I break the face.
Tommy, come on.
Oh, boy. So Paulie laid it out on Tom. Everything that he's been wanting to say about Tommy, he's just laid at Tommy's feet.
Well, everybody needs to have a friend like that that's willing to say whatever to stick up for you, whether it's your spouse or...
He is loyal to Rocky, but he says that Rocky spit blood for him. Maybe when they're sparring, I don't know, like, did he accidentally hit Rocky in the mouth? Maybe it's just figurative, but everything else wasn't figurative. Like he says that he put Tommy ahead of his family, which is true. Basically, he did everything for Tommy, and now Tommy's coming here to do this. But now family has been hit, Ruben. He's been friends and family. Well, look, he's been Paulie's brother-in-law for 15, 16 years, but he's known Paulie since they were kids. So, or at least since they were teenagers. Here we go. So Paulie hits the floor. Rocky is not happy.
What? Break your hand on that bum and what are you worth then, huh?
Oh, are you okay?
So Duke says, if you break your hand on that bum's face, what are you worth then? It's an interesting because it's actually kind of realistic. There's actually a bit of reality there. The idea that you can
Well, that's what he said he was going to do. He was going to bring the reality.
Yeah, what, Stallone?
Duke.
Oh, yeah, good catch. He goes, enough fantasy, let's bring reality. Yeah. Even Duke realizes it's getting out of control here because that is his commodity, and things are slipping out of control. Rocky's asking Paulie, are you okay? And Paulie's going to look up at Rocky and say...
You should have left him on the street where you found him.
Should have left him on the street where you found him. Well, that's hindsight.
Sure.
But Paulie saw it coming a mile away.
You knocked him down. Why don't you try knocking me down now?
No. In the ring. Tommy Gunn only fights in the ring. Get out of here.
My ring's outside.
Yeah?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Now, for the sake of our listeners, we're going to go through the fight as it happens, and you'll hear it as we're watching it. And we'll pause it here and there, but it's just a lot of punching. And it really is a street fight. It is a street fight, but let's go. Let's kick into it here. There's some things that do happen throughout the fight, though. So the ring is outside, Ruben. The ring is outside. Now, this is a big bone of contention that I've brought up 1,000 times on this podcast for the past couple of years, 3 years. I don't want to beat a dead horse. I don't mind that they fought in the street. I just wish the movie ended in the ring. We're at the hour and 30-minute mark, so the movie is already kind of played a little bit long. It's too bad they didn't figure out this scene 20 minutes earlier, had them start in the street, and then it does get broken up, and they say, we'll finish it in the ring for sure. And then you do a little 10-minute montage, 10-minute fight, then it ends. But whatever. That's my thoughts.
Yeah.
Let's go live. Go live. Come on here.
So now the reporters are saying, let's go live. Let's go live. The idea being that they're going to stream through their satellites to whatever news channels in Philly, Rocky and Tommy fight in the street.
It's a good get.
Can you imagine, Ruben, this fight legitimately being televised into your living room? That's what they're saying. Let's go live.
Yeah.
Let's go live.
He's a punk, Rocky, I'm telling you. Balboa street fight. You a prize fighter. Don't be a damn...
Hey, you don't owe me!
Take it easy, Tommy.
You don't owe me!
Wrong with you? Take it easy.
Nobody does!
So Tommy, in his own right, in a weird way, it's kind of his redemption too. He's breaking free from Duke, right?
Yeah.
Because he's saying, you don't owe me. So he's angry, he's being hot-headed, but this is actually for Tommy's own good in some ways, that he's now kind of seeing what Duke has done to him. He still wants to fight. I think all the anger in Tommy's still there. The dark side is still in him. He's fighting.
Sure, well, kind of like when anybody's in a fight, they just want to be right.
Jeez. Ooh, what was that rubbing sound? Oh, there it is again.
Adjusting laptop. I'm actually in my van.
Oh.
Yeah. The girls are having a piano lessons inside.
Okay.
So it would just be a lot of crappy piano playing.
No.
So would it be the background music you would appreciate in a movie?
Right. So Tommy says, nobody owns me. Nobody does.
I respect.
We'll come and get it. Come on, Tommy.
Come on, Rocky.
Right away, Rocky, just old man strength, 25, 30 years of boxing experience. He lays Tommy out, right? Lays him out. Like a good sport, though, he doesn't destroy him. Tommy's off his feet against the chain link fence and the garbage. And Rocky could have gone on top of him and kept punching him to bloody pulp.
Sure.
The mullet cushioned the blow on the backside of the head.
Like as it waved. Awesome. Beautiful.
Yeah. For our listeners of the show, please go on YouTube and search for Rocky 5 Street Fight, and you'll get to see the mullet swinging back and forth.
I loved you, man. You know that? You and me were supposed to be like this, Tommy. You blew it. You
know, it's interesting. George Lucas ripped off that scene, Ruben.
George Lucas did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right here.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy this Sith, not join them! Bring balance to the Force! Not leave it in darkness! I hate you! You were my brother, Anakin! I loved you!
So there you go. Revenge of the Sith came out 12 years after Rocky 5, but it's almost verbatim in some ways. The idea that the trainer beating down the student because the student got engulfed in anger and jealousy, and Rocky said to Tommy, you and I were supposed to be tight. You were the chosen one. You were going to be the next champ. You had everything in you, but you let anger and jealousy and the power get in your vision. That George Lucas took that scenario and gave it to. It's pretty similar, eh?
It is. It really is. It's uncanny.
It is pretty uncanny. I wonder if anyone else made that connection. So Stallone influenced George Lucas.
There we have it.
Here we keep going. Someone yells out to Rocky, "Rocky, you're always a champ." Everyone's congratulating Rocky.
Lucky punch, but he's a street fighter. And I told you never to fight a street fighter fight. So come on, let's get out of here. Come on.
So Duke tells Tommy, look, he got lucky. He's a street fighter. Trying to keep Tommy still has his money-making machine. Like, let's just let this go.
Fair advice.
Yeah, he's trying to protect his asset.
Come on. You're always a champ, Rocky. Great.
So Tommy comes behind Rocky. Kidney punches him. Cheap shot in the back. Someone yells like, hey, Rock, watch out. A little bit too late there. So, yeah, I was just saying that someone yelled like, hey, Rocky, watch out. But at that point, he'd already been hit. It's like, okay, got it. Thanks. So Tommy just starts fighting some of the bar patrons that are in the crowd. Oh, it's a disaster. I love it. He's taking out 3 different men, Ruben. I think it's just kind of showed the kind of beast that Rocky really is fighting here, how high the stakes are. It's pretty obvious when there's a scene here for our listeners where Tommy pushes Rocky through like a steel grate and they really go into the streets. A subway car goes by, but it's pretty obvious when you watch it that they're two stuntmen that did it. You can see that it's not Tommy or Stallone.
How dare you?
It's hilarious. It's like go on YouTube, put it in slow motion, like quarter speed. Like you can do that on YouTube. You can see that it's stunt doubles, of course. It's stunt work, but still. So the reporter says, "This is great stuff. This is beautiful. We have 2 men beating each other to a pulp, and it's great stuff. It's beautiful, Ruben."
Yeah, well, outside of the ring, it's just assault, Or
that's all it is. It's literally it's 2 men beating each other up brutally, and in the context of the movie, we know what's going on. But on a newscast with no music, no editing, it's just 2 men beating each other to a pulp. Well, we got beautiful. What we have is it's beautiful. It's ratings. Beautiful. It's ratings. And ratings.
All they care about.
Mom! It's Dad. He's on television. He's fighting. What?
I love that. What? From Adrian.
Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Come on, Balboa. Who's your partner now, huh? Come on. Gotta rock. Gotta rock.
So this part's really dark and brutal. So Rocky's holding his head. You can hear it in the recording, but he's getting the traumatic like flashbacks from his fight with Drago. And there's a scene there where Rocky actually puts his hand out like, no. It's like, stop hitting me. He's actually asking Tommy to stop hitting him.
Who could blame him?
Tommy lays him out, and there's a image of him on the Rocky 4 hitting the canvas from Drago's punch, and Tommy hitting him, and he goes to the pavement. Kind of coincide with each other.
You gotta get up. Come on, get up.
Now, why is Paulie telling him to get up? Paulie should be saying, look, there's no fight here. You're getting your head caved in here. So, Rocky, stay on the ground. We'll just wait for emergency services to show up here. But he actually tells Rocky to get up.
Go on.
There's a really creepy sounds and imagery here of Mickey coming out of the blue here in his thoughts. But you hear that little ear. Do you hear the sound that it made? Almost like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Type feeling to it. Okay. And Mickey's looking around, coming out of the dead, kind of looks around like, what's going on? The prodigal son has returned. He's the Force is strong with Rocky, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jedi, which is Mickey with the Jedi powers. You don't ever die.
You're out.
Now there's a scene there where Drago says if he dies, he dies. Obviously now it's like the ghost of Drago talking to Rocky if Rocky dies. Now we all know it's been said 1,000 times, but Stallone wrote that Rocky does die from these injuries. You can see from this filming how brutal and gruesome it is, quite frankly. There's blood pouring down Rocky's face and kind of somewhat metaphorical, like weird filming, but it shows lots of blood running down Rocky's face. It's very dark, but you can see where the original script did kind of lean towards the death of Rocky.
Now get up one more round.
So Mickey says, "You're the champ. Now get up one more round." That's new footage for this movie that was filmed by Burgess Meredith.
Get up! Don't lay it down like this guy hard. Come on! Come on! He's no machine. I can hear no bell. Get up, you son of a bitch. Mickey loves you.
There we go. Get up, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loves you. And then, of course, the theme music kicks in. And now Rocky's fighting for, just to beat up Tommy.
Yep.
I didn't hear no bell.
Tommy.
One more round.
Tommy, get back. Come on. Get back. Tommy, you don't need this. Tommy, you lose your finish.
I got one more round. Come on. I'm not gonna knock you out this time. I'm gonna put you to the street. One more round.
Come on, Rocky. Rocky, come on, Rocky.
So the street fighting kicks in. We got CNC Music Factory music kicking in.
I know. A terrible mashup.
So we had the beautiful Rocky fanfare music by Bill Conti segue into CNC Music Factory. Maybe the CNC stands for Conti and Conti.
That's what people say.
Rocky grabs Tommy by the arm, gives him like an arm lock, and proceeds to punch Tommy in the back of the head. Hey, it's a street fight. One more round. No more. This is ultimate MMA fighting before MMA fighting, right?
Yep.
Come on, Tommy.
And then Rocky does a big like street takedown. Tommy charges him, and Rocky does this like street takedown where he almost like a jiu-jitsu type move, you know.
Is what inspired Dana White.
Yeah, Dana White was watching Rocky 5, said, I gotta create MMA. And then Rocky does a sweeping kick motion, and Paulie can't believe it. Look at his face. He's like, I can't believe Rocky did that move. This is Conti and Conti Music Factory. You've got the CNC Music Factory mixed in with the Bill Conti Orchestra.
Yeah. Mashup.
Old Lion versus New Lion.
That's right. That's exactly what's going on.
Tommy's getting his head smashed into a steel cage match fight now. We've got to segue into that. And Duke seeing his money train going down the drain. So that's him yelling in the background. Ah! Like everything he's worked for is getting flushed down the drain here. Which doesn't make sense because even if Tommy loses, quote unquote, loses this fight to Rocky, he can still fight in the ring. Or does he lose his belt because he had a fight outside the ring?
I don't know.
Don't boxers sometimes get into fights outside the ring? Did they lose their championship?
I know nothing on the subject.
Touch me and I'll sue.
So Rocky knocks down Tommy. Tommy's laying on the ground recovering, and Rocky bumps into Duke, and that's the first time when Duke says, touch me and I'll sue you. We'll see how that plays out later.
All right, Rocky, done. What in the hell are you doing? Get up! What in the hell?
We've had a moment here when Tommy got knocked down, Rocky walked away, Tommy started the fight again, and then Tommy got knocked down, Rocky walked away, Rocky got knocked down, Tommy walked away actually, then Rocky came back, now Tommy got knocked down again, and just finish the fight, guys. It's like, it's basically looks like you have to knock them out cold. Rocky Jr. and Adrian have gone to the fight. They've ran from their home and they've caught up to the fight. So that's a great line there. The Robert's upset that Tommy took his room.
Hilarious.
So they're throwing just big, wild haymakers, as they do in every Rocky movie at the end of the fight. Big, wild haymakers, just taking bare knuckle fists to the face, Ruben.
Yeah, I'd be done.
And Stallone and Rocky's 47 in this film.
Crazy.
How old was he? Sorry, he was 30 in 1970. 30 in 76, so this was 1990. Oh, no, he's only 44. Is that right?
He's your age.
That's weird. Yeah, there's no way that I'm fighting a 21-year-old man, 50, 75 pounds of muscle on me, punching me in the face one after another. Like, okay, I'm done. Okay, you're not my robot anymore. Oh, and then Adrian came in, and she yells that slow motion, "Stop! Adrian, stop. Stop the stop. It's over." Then she yells out, "Rocky."
Rocky! Come on, Jeff, go for it!
But Rocky Jr., he's in, man. He's in.
Oh, yeah.
He just loves seeing his dad, because he hates Tommy. He hates Tommy. So he just loves seeing his dad beat up Tommy. Just think about how many hits these guys are taking, Ruben. He's just thrown 5 punches to Tommy's gut and ribs. Unprotected shots.
Sure, yeah. With bare knuckles.
Bare knuckles. I love look at the crowd around them. I don't know if you can see how good your screen is.
Yeah, I can see it.
Look at this girl here. Just kind of like, yeah. Look how close they are to 2 grown men fully swinging their arms. You're not standing that close.
My wife would be gone so fast.
Look how many women there are. 1, 2, 3. I love how they're all between the age of 32 and 45.
Ladies' night out.
Oh, man. Oh, here we go. The build-up. He lays out Tommy against some sort of city bus that pulled up to the fight, that added light to the fight. And it's funny how the crowd, it's almost like the crowd can hear the music.
Yes, they know the fight's done.
They know the fight's over because now they can celebrate. Rocky was knocked down at least twice, out cold. Tom was knocked out cold. Nobody's cheered.
Yeah.
But the music has now indicated that it's over, and everyone's on board. I love how everyone's on board.
The guy smiling right there.
Oh, he loves it. That might be Clubber Lang's brother.
Adrian, you're right. You're right.
I love that. Adrian, you were right. You were right. This fight that he had with Tommy was more dangerous than any fight he's ever had inside the ring.
Oh, easily, yeah.
The pavement impacts, the bare knuckles to the face and the eyes, the eye damage and the concussions. It's funny. Had Adrian just let Rocky...
She made it worse.
She did make it worse. If she had just let Rocky fight in the ring at the very beginning when Duke came with the proposition and not even fight Tommy... The proposition originally was for Rocky to fight Union Kane, a complete joke. Something that Tommy laid out in 1 minute.
Yeah, it's all Adrian's fault.
This whole thing is Adrian's fault. Rocky says you were right. Rocky, she was wrong.
Yeah.
She was
Rocky
wrong.
She's wrong.
Had Adrian let Rocky fight Union Kane at the very beginning, they would have never have met Tommy, or Rocky would have been he wouldn't have trained Tommy because Rocky would have been champion. Tommy wouldn't have been able to approach Rocky because Rocky would not have been in a position training other bum fighters at the gym because he would have been a millionaire again working in his mansion.
This is where we need to listen to Basil from Austin Powers. Just go, enjoy it.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy, Ruben?
It is.
Adrian was wrong. She should have let Rocky fight Union Kane. That's our hot take. All this could have been avoided had Rocky ignored his wife's pleas, fought Union Kane, taken the paycheck, and then retired again. Done.
God damn. Only America.
Now, what's he referring to there?
I don't know.
No, there's street fights in other parts of the world. Is he saying that the Rocky redemption, or that the crowd loves Rocky even though he's not the real champion?
I don't know.
So Rocky puts his arm up in the air. He's got his loved ones around him.
Sure.
Now the police come, Ruben. Okay, I don't understand this. The police have now shown up, Ruben, and they're carrying Tommy away.
Well, they're in Balboa's hometown.
It's almost like there's no way they're going to arrest Philadelphia's only son.
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa. Yeah, the police are carrying Tommy away. For starting the fight, maybe?
They watched it all live on TV.
That's true.
All the evidence is there.
Yeah, Rocky was only defending himself.
Yeah.
Hey, Rock! Y'all classed the bomb, huh?
So Duke just can't leave well enough alone. Rocky was walking away, and Duke says, hey, y'all class the bum.
Touch me and I'll sue. Come on, pug. Touch me and I'll sue.
Now, there's a big debate here, Ruben. The captions say, come on, punk. Touch me and I'll sue. But I swear he says, come on, pug.
I hear punk.
Okay. Is this because pugilist or pug is short for pugilist?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I heard punk.
Okay.
I kind of know. When people on the internet, they don't know the color of something?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. Duke says, touch me and I'll sue you. We all know what's coming. He punches him in the middle of the chest plate area, or maybe just below it. But he flies up in the air.
Yeah.
His impact, there's just no way. Duke's a big man. So we're to assume that punch in the middle of his body sent him vertically in the air 2 to 3 feet and landed on a car.
I believe that. I saw it with my own eyes.
Talk about reality.
Sue me for what?
So the idea, of course, Rocky's poor. He can't sue me for money I don't have. There must be something that they can do, though. I think people can be poor and go to jail for assault.
I've heard of poor people in jail before.
Especially when they assault a rich person.
Yes.
Oh, I love this movie. Father Carmine's happens to be at the fight as well, and he's just called out a couple blessings to Rocky. And Rocky says this to response to Adrian about Father Carmine.
Hey, yo, boss. I love it when he does that.
So Rocky loves it when Father Carmine throws him down blessings.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Stop. Okay, for our listeners, we now have the great shot here of the Rocky statue at the top during this time. They have been moved down to the bottom of the stairs. of the Philadelphia Art Museum. But here we have the Rocky statue at the top of the Philadelphia Art Museum, Rocky Steps. And we have Rocky and his son doing a little bit jog up the steps. So remember, Rocky's 44 now, which I am. And I jog 4 miles just for my own personal exercise. I like to jog 4 miles. But I love how Rocky in the scene acts like he's so out of shape. There's no way.
He's acting.
Yeah, he's acting.
Better than that?
No way. I don't know. It's like these steps keep growing taller every year. My goodness.
Good little Rocky line there. Those are good little Rocky lines. These steps are growing taller every year, indicating that it's harder for him to jog up them every year. But that's actually a really great cinematography here of Rocky and his son. And this scene's so hard, though, to watch. Just knowing that
I know.
This person that he's interacting with on screen in real life is his son, and his son Sage is dead. Ugh. It's sad. I don't have any cool film of me and my kids, but at least right now they're with me, But it's just tough though. Oh boy. Anyways,
Woo! Look at this thing, kid.
So he's speaking to the statue. Rocky's talking about the statue.
As long as this thing is here, Pitches is always gonna have a place to sit, right? I can't believe it, This is where it all started for me, kid. Running up and down these steps,
It's all tying everything together because when this film was made, it was everyone's intention, including Stallone's, truly that this was the last one. So they're kind of tying everything together here. And Robert's trying to tell his dad that we're going to be late for the exhibit inside the museum.
Dad,
yeah.
Dad, we're gonna be late.
Oh, yeah, okay. Hey, wait, what's wrong with you here?
What's wrong with it?
You got something growing here. You got like a bump.
What bump?
This bump.
Rocky's being silly, saying, hey, you've got something on your ear. And he pulls out Rocky Marciano cufflink that Mickey gave to Rocky, that Rocky inadvertently gave to, or wanted to give to Tommy. But now Rocky's giving it to his son as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Dad.
You deserve it. Thank you for being born. Thanks.
What do you think? The new me?
Robert's placing the cufflink against his ear like an earring. And here's a line that they wouldn't write today coming up.
You look like the daughter that I always wanted.
What are you talking about?
You can't write that today.
It's too edgy.
Back when that was out in 1990, when I saw the all the girls wear earrings, or weird people.
Yeah.
Hey, don't punch me. I'm getting brittle as it is. Look at this, I've been running up and down these steps for 20 years, and I never knew there was valuable pictures in this building,
Well, you're never too old to learn something new.
Yeah.
You're gonna love Picasso.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love almost everybody.
That's a great ending line. I love almost everybody. I love how he said, though, that he's been running up the steps for 20 years. Now, if he's 44, he started running up the steps when he was 24, and that was 6 years before the events of Rocky 1. So apparently he was running these steps as a training regime before Rocky 1 started.
Well, that makes sense.
But in Rocky 1, when he ran the steps, he was horrible at it. So was he that bad at it all that time, or did he stop doing it for a little bit before the events of Rocky 1?
It could be just like a period of time.
Okay. Well, the movie before we end, the movie does end with this song, and while this song plays, it's interesting that they picked this artist and the movie with the little quip that Stallone gave about boys wearing earrings.
Oh, that's right.
These battered hands are all you own.
The Elton John song is actually a really nice song, Measure of a Man. It's a nice song. And they have images of Rocky 1 through 4 and up to 5. I love how they included the montage of pictures from Rocky 5 in the film Rocky 5.
Rocky is the king of montages.
Yes. So, Ruben.
Number 5 is done.
Rocky 5 is done. It's in the books. Thoughts?
I'm really looking forward to doing Balboa.
You know what? A lot of our listeners are. There are people, Ruben, I know who have not listened to Rocky 5 coverage. There are people who hate the movie that much. Because I've had people say that they're looking forward to Rocky Balboa's coverage. There's actually people that hate this movie so much they won't even listen to our coverage of it.
Wow. How dare they?
Well, they're not listening to this, so who cares?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just thinking like Elton John playing his careers, he's doing his farewell tour. He said he might perform here or there, but he's done touring.
That's crazy. This movie came out in 1990. How old was Elton John in 1990? Because I thought at the time that Elton John was an old artist back in 1990.
Well, he was. He was like 20 years old. 20 years into being an artist.
Isn't that weird to think, though, Ruben? This movie came out 29 years ago. So we already thought that Elton John was old almost 30 years ago.
Yeah. He was our age younger.
Which makes sense, because yes, Stallone's 73 now, so that makes sense. Yeah, he was 44 when this came out. That's so weird. He was my age in Rocky V. Yeah.
We'll be that old soon enough if we're lucky.
Yeah. Oh, man. This concludes Season 5 of the Going the Distance, the Rocky Series podcast. It's been an absolute joy covering Rocky V and also covering other Stallone films throughout Season 5. Having guest hosts, interviews. It's the biggest interviews of our show have actually happened during the Rocky V coverage. Bill Conti and Richard Gant, to name a couple. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. Yeah. Who's next? Elton John?
Why not?
Yeah. Any words, Ruben, to close up Season 5?
Ding, ding!
And with that...
You come full circle, now you're home. Without the gold, without the crown. This is where you've always been. You had to lose so you could win. And rise above your troubles while you can. Now you can love, now you can lose, now you can choose. That's the measure of a man.